assess actual situation before deciding on NRP Phase 2. Vaccination top priority for students taking major exams. Good evening, I'm Azlani. Welcome to News at 10. The government will have to study various factors, including the actual COVID-19 situation in the country and intervention methods being implemented before deciding whether to move into Phase 2 of the National Recovery Plan. Prime Minister Tan Sri Muhyiddin Yassin said the government always monitors the latest developments through the Health Ministry, MOH, and all available systems to determine the intervention methods that can be implemented.
Walaupun kerajaan dah menentukan tarikh-tarikh tempoh, kadar, kes, bed, katil-katil ICU, vaksinasi, dia ada dia punya apa dipanggil nilai ambang, threshold, nilai ambang tu. Tapi kita kena faham bahawa keadaan berubah-ubah. Sebab itu kita boleh buat sedikit adjustment. Ini nanti akan diputuskan oleh sidang MKN yang saya pengusikan untuk kita menilai keadaan.
Speaking to reporters after visiting the vaccination centre at Dewan Mufakat Johor, Bukit Gambir in Tangkak today, the Premier also stressed the importance of ramping up the vaccination process to get a better control of the situation and reduce the number of positive cases faster. Healthcare volunteers involved in COVID-19 management nationwide will receive an increase in their daily allowance starting this month. Prime Minister Tan Sri Muhyiddin Yassin said the new daily rate has been doubled to 100 ringgit for volunteers who are on duty for more than 12 hours daily. Speaking to reporters after visiting the vaccination centre PPV at Dewan Mufakat Bandar Bukit Gambir in Tangkak today, the Premier said this will affect 19,000 people following an additional allocation of 180 million ringgit in funding.
Selain itu, bayaran saguatin juga akan dikeluarkan pada sukarelawan kesihatan yang bertugas di lapangan selain daripada PPV. Yang PPV kita bagi, yang bukan PPV pun seperti di pusat-pusat kuarantin. Mereka juga layak dapat, dan juga pusat rawatan COVID-19 risiko rendah. Ini dipanggil PKRC. PKRC pun mereka dapat. Jadi jumlah sukarelawannya 19,000.
Tan Sri Muhyiddin said the raise is an acknowledgement of the volunteers' contributions in ensuring that Malaysians receive their vaccines efficiently, quickly and safely. He added that the latest move also proves the government's seriousness in increasing the vaccination rates nationwide. Earlier, the Prime Minister also visited the Pagoh Multipurpose Hall, PPV. Students who will be taking major exams this year will be given top priority for COVID-19 vaccination. Senior Education Minister Dr. Razzie Jidin said this is in light of the presumed reopening of schools, which is expected to be either in September or October as stated under the National Recovery Plan. The Minister also said that teachers who are actively involved in the examinations will also be given top priority for vaccinations access.
Apa yang ingin saya jelaskan di sini, apabila kita bercakap tentang vaksinasi ini, kami di Kementerian melihat kepada isu bekalan tadi. Sebab itu saya kata memang kalau boleh semua nak divaksinasikan segera, namun memandangkan bekalan itu yang kita dapat itu perlu mengikut jadual-jadual tertentu yang telah ditetapkan oleh pembekal. Ini dijelaskan banyak kali oleh WBKJ ya. Maka kita di kementerian memohon supaya dalam konteks murid ini yang perlu didahulukan adalah murid-murid kelas peperiksaan. Yang itu yang kalau boleh kita mohon, dan ini saya telah berbincang dengan YBKJ sendiri untuk kita beri keutamaan kepada murid kelas peperiksaan.
Speaking at a media conference in Putrajaya, Dr. Razi said the decision on when and how to implement the procedure will be decided by the COVID-19 Immunization Task Force CITF and the COVID-19 Vaccine Supplies Access Guarantee Special Committee JKAV. Elaborating further, the minister said the proposal to set up vaccination centres or PPVs at schools is still being discussed, adding that his ministry is willing to work together with CITF and JKAV on the matter. Meanwhile, Dr. Razi advised teachers who have been designated to receive their vaccine to come on the day of their appointment. He said so far 148,580 teachers nationwide have already received their vaccine jabs.
Lebih daripada 36% daripada jumlah keseluruhan guru telah divaksinkan, dan proses ini adalah proses yang berterusan. Dan kita amat berharap supaya guru-guru terus, yang mana masih belum mendaftar terus mendaftar, dan yang mana dah daftar apabila diberi ruang dipanggil itu jangan pula tak pergi. Ya, ini saya nak berkongsi dengan guru-guru, bila dah mendaftar, ya dah dipanggil itu mesti pergi, supaya apabila sekolah kita buat keputusan untuk buka sekolah kelak, kita amat berharap pada waktu itu sebahagian besar guru telah divaksinkan. Jadi sebab itu guru-guru kalau yang telah mendapat temujanji untuk divaksinkan, pastikan saudara-saudari hadir untuk proses vaksinasi tersebut.
Malaysia recorded another day of having daily COVID-19 cases below the 5,000 mark with 4,743 new infections. Health Director General Tan Sri Dr. Noor Hisham Abdullah on Twitter said this raised the total number of infections to 705,762, of which 62,027 are active cases. According to the Health DG, Selangor still leads in terms of the highest number of infections with 1,566, followed by Kuala Lumpur at 635 and Negeri Sembilan at 585. However, he said the number of recoveries today exceeded the daily new cases with 5,557. Tan Sri Dr. Noor Hisham added that another 77 people died due to COVID-19, taking the nation's death toll to 4,554. Meanwhile, the number of patients in intensive care units nationwide dropped to 875 from 880 the previous day. Of these, 445 are on ventilator support. Tan Sri Dr. Noor Hisham also reported 21 more COVID-19 clusters, including 13 from workplaces, 5 within the general community, and 1 each in a detention, education, and religious centre. Coming up next, Malaysia, UK collaborate in smart city development. Malaysia and the United Kingdom have jointly launched a Smart City Handbook, Malaysia, to promote collaboration and partnership in smart city development between both countries. The handbook outlines the smart city landscape across Malaysia and provides examples of interesting UK smart city projects and expertise. Launched virtually today by Housing and Local Government Minister Dato' Zuraida Kamaruddin, the book also provides suggestions on how and where UK companies could assist Malaysia in managing and solving various issues on developing smart, sustainable cities.
I welcome more smart city collaborations between Malaysia and United Kingdom. Perhaps UK could offer suitable partnerships to those smaller cities that could provide insurmountable benefits to Malaysians.
Dato' Zuraida said the Housing and Local Government Ministry would work closely with all the relevant local authorities and be a facilitator to the implementation of smart cities while giving an overview of the opportunities available in the country. Also present virtually at the event was British High Commissioner to Malaysia, Charles Hay. 17 Mara Liner Sdn Bhd Express buses have been modified into Mobile Vaccine Administrating Centre (PPV) to speed up the vaccination process for rural communities, especially the orang asli across the peninsula. Rural Development Minister Dato Dr. Abdul Latif Ahmad said each of these mobile PPV had 9 vaccination counters, including one for the disabled (OKU), and could vaccinate 1,200 people when operating for a period of 10 hours.
Kita sedia bas pada waktu yang sama dalam family dan keluarga Mara ni. Kita juga memberi bentuk bantuan kepada profesional. Kita ada UNI klinik. Doktor tu adalah sebahagian daripada keluarga Mara lah. Jadi tiap-tiap unit bergerak ni dia wajibkan oleh jawatankuasa CITF untuk ada 2 orang doktor. Jadi kita dah ada semua sekali orang dan juga peralatan.
He was met after viewing the mobile PPV at the Mara Liner Depot in Batu Muda, Kuala Lumpur. Dato Dr. Abdul Latif said these mobile PPV's operations also involved the setting up of counters, including for confirmation, registration, consultation and vaccine recipient observation under the tents erected next to the mobile units. On a trial basis, 2 Mara Liner mobile PPV will leave for Sungai Siput in Perak this Saturday to help vaccinate the orang asli at a number of villages in the area. The government will be considering the opening of education-related outlets such as bookstores and computer outlets once the country entering the phase 2 of the Movement Control Order 3.0. Senior Minister for Security Datuk Seri Ismail Sabri Yaakob said the government was aware with the difficulties faced by parents in providing necessary tools and materials to support the home-based teaching and learning PDPR process. The Senior Minister explained that there were 3 conditions set for the country to shift into second phase of MCO 3.0, namely reduction in the number of daily COVID-19 cases, the number of population being vaccinated, and the number of ICU beds in hospitals nationwide.
Kalau syarat itu dipenuhi, nanti kita akan umumkan kita berpindah ke fasa 2. Kalau fasa 2, mungkinlah. Kita tunggulah pengumuman, mungkin kedai buku ke, kedai komputer ke akan dibuka dan sebagainya, itu akan kita tunggulah. Tapi fasa 2 pun bukanlah bebas terbuka, tapi mungkin hampir sama juga dengan fasa 1 ke. Tapi mungkin kedai-kedai tertentu yang penting seperti kedai buku, alat tulis untuk pembelajaran, komputer mungkin akan dibuka. Jadi tapi tunggu.
He said the matter would be brought and discussed during the National Security Council's meeting this week. Malaysia Armed Forces ATM veterans who are facing difficulties are urged to immediately contact the ATM Veterans Affairs Department, JHEV, to enable the department to extend assistance allocated for them. Defence Minister Datuk Seri Ismail Sabri Yaakob said they could also reach the Veterans Association at their respective districts for help.
Jadi sila hubungi persatuan veteran di daerah masing-masing supaya perkara ini dapat diangkat ke tempat lebih tinggi, iaitu JF, Jabatan High Level Veteran, peringkat negeri ataupun peringkat persekutuan. Jadi kalau tidak, kita ada lebih kurang 300,000 veteran yang bekas anggota tentera ni berada di seluruh negara, dan walaupun setengahnya berdaftar, tetapi ada 80,000 lagi yang masih belum berdaftar dengan Jabatan High Level Veteran. Jadi untuk keep track dia orang ni agak sukar kalau tidak ada data tentang di mana mereka, kehidupan mereka, latar belakang, status terkini, apa yang mereka lakukan dan sebagainya. Kita tidak ada.
Datuk Seri Ismail Sabri had also instructed the Veterans Association in each district to find out about this group of veterans. The government has taken steps to amend relevant laws and regulations to comply with the obligations of the Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership RCEP Agreement. Secretary General of Domestic Trade and Consumer Affairs Ministry KPD and HDP Datuk Seri Hasnul Zamzam Ahmad said that among the legislation that require amendments are related to intellectual property IP laws. He added that these amendments are in line with the direction taken by the Ministry and the Intellectual Property Corporation of Malaysia to ensure effective intellectual property protection in Malaysia.
With strengthened IP laws, I believe it will boost the confidence of investors and facilitate trade with partners. Subsequently, acceding to international treaties such as Madrid Protocol and Budapest Treaty will also facilitate protection of intellectual properties of Malaysians as well.
Speaking at the ASEAN Business Advisory Council Malaysia Webinar 2021 today, he stressed that the government is committed to ratify the RCEP in order for Malaysia to enjoy the benefits of this agreement. On the Comprehensive and Progressive Agreement for Trans-Pacific Partnership (CPTPP), he said the government is mindful of some of the concerns raised on the issues such as government procurement, state-owned enterprises, market access and the policy space for the government to implement measures and initiatives independently. An executive of a leading supermarket was remanded for 7 days beginning today to facilitate a Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission (MACC) investigation into a corruption case involving almost 40,000 ringgit. The remand order was issued by Shah Alam Magistrates Court Deputy Registrar A. Kartiyanini on the 43-year-old suspect. The MACC source said the woman was arrested at the Selangor MACC office at about 3:30 p.m. yesterday. The suspect was remanded under Section 16 Subsection A of the MACC 2009 Act for allegedly soliciting and accepting bribes on a monthly basis from 2 cleaning companies. It was done as an inducement to award them cleaning contracts at several supermarket buildings located in Malacca, Johor and Selangor between 2018 and this year. Police detained 11 individuals, including 2 women, who were suspected to be involved in a secret society group, Gang 35, in integrated operations in Kulim yesterday. Kedah Police Chief Datuk Kamarul Zaman Mamat said that prior to the arrest, police detected a 44-second TikTok video featuring an individual cutting a number 35 cake in the presence of 15 other individuals who also failed to observe physical distancing. In a statement today, Datuk Kamarul Zaman said initial investigation found that the event took place in the house of one of the suspects to celebrate Father's Day. Acting on intelligence findings, he said 11 of the individuals, aged between 26 and 61, were arrested for alleged involvement in secret society activities. The case is being investigated under Section 269 of the Penal Code, Section 52, Subsection 3 of the Societies Act 1966, and Regulation 10, Subsection 1 of the Prevention and Control of Infectious Diseases Regulations 2021. In a separate case, Datuk Kamarul Zaman said the Kedah Police had also arrested 4 men and 2 women aged between 19 and 50 for organising betting activities involving the 2020 Euro Cup Football Championship in Sungai Petani last night. He said the police also seized 11 mobile phones, a computer, 3 laptops, 1 modem and cash of 3,000 ringgit from the suspects. He said the group was believed to have organised the 2020 Euro Cup football competition betting activities and promoting online gambling by targeting customers in Malaysia and obtaining profits of about 50,000 to 70,000 ringgit a month. Police have crippled an organised crime, a gang known as Gang Sakai, with the arrest of 24 suspects, including the gang leader and a 14-year-old teenager, in an integrated operation in several states on Sunday. Kuala Lumpur Police Chief Dato' Azmi Abu Kasim said the operations was carried out around Kuala Lumpur, Perak, Melaka, Negeri Sembilan and Terengganu.
Jadi bertindak daripada serbuan, tangkapan dan rampasan itu, kita telah merampas lebih daripada 700, kita merampas 318, lebih kurang 318 gram syabu dan 445 gram heroin yang bernilai lebih kurang dalam nilai pasaran dalam RM9,000 lah. Selain daripada itu, kita juga merampas tunai ringgit Malaysia sebanyak 21,000 lebih kurang, dan 5 buah kenderaan mewah lah, kenderaan mewah. Jadi ada sebahagian daripada barang-barang rampasan ni ada di sini, dan yang tak ada tu kita sediakan gambar lah untuk rakan-rakan media, kemudahan rakan-rakan media lah. Jadi keseluruhan rampasan ini kita anggarkan bernilai di sekitar 1.7 juta lah.
Speaking at a media conference at the Kuala Lumpur Police Contingent Headquarters today, Dato' Azmi said that based on preliminary investigation, police found that the gang was involved in various criminal cases involving drugs, violence, property and murder. He said 18 of the suspects have been remanded under the Security Offences Special Measures Act 2012 for 28 days until 17th July, while 6 others have been remanded to assist in investigation under Section 39B of the Dangerous Drugs Act 1952. Still ahead, a delay in sharing vaccines due to logistical challenges.
With the MERS 999 application system, getting emergency assistance is now easier. Save Me 999 Police connects the Malaysian public to the police. Save Me 999 Deaf for those with hearing or speech impairments. And Save Me 999 Blind for those with visual impairments. Download now for free on your smartphones. MERS 999 and applications make emergency calls easier.
Welcome back to News at 10. White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki said on Monday the delay in sharing coronavirus vaccines with other countries is due to logistical challenges after the White House laid out a plan to share 55 million US COVID-19 vaccine doses globally.
Well, first, let me say we're committed to allocating those doses. We've done exactly that. What we found to be the biggest challenge is not actually the supply. We have plenty of doses to share with the world, but this is a Herculean logistical challenge, and we've seen that as we've begun to implement.
Production problems at an emerging biosolutions factory in Baltimore have forced the administration to revise its initial plan to rely heavily on AstraZeneca's vaccine for that donation. The White House did not specify on Monday which vaccines it will be sharing, but people familiar with the operation have said the administration is working to swap shots made by Pfizer and BioNTech, Moderna and Johnson & Johnson for AstraZeneca's. The distribution formula closely followed the one that the White House announced earlier this month for the first 25 million doses in the President's pledge. Hong Kong reported 3 new COVID-19 infections on Monday, all of them imported. The city has now gone 14 straight days with no new local infections. With the easing of the local epidemic situation, the government announced a series of relaxations to social distancing measures for both the vaccinated and unvaccinated. As the epidemic situation improves, Chief Executive Carrie Lam thinks it's time to offer help to struggling businesses.
I still appeal, and we will still facilitate the taking of vaccine by people who want to take it. But the time has come for us to allow a higher level of business and social activities without being made subject to vaccination.
These new measures will come into effect Thursday and will remain effective for 14 days. Despite the series of relaxations, the chief executive urged people to get vaccinated, adding that the current inoculation rate of under 30% is not satisfactory. Coming up in sports, Argentina qualified for Copa quarters. Stay with us. Argentina ensured their place in the quarterfinals of the Copa America on Monday when they beat Paraguay 1-0 in a game notable for Lionel Messi's record-equaling 147th appearance for the national side. The victory in Brasilia was Argentina's second 1-0 win in a row in this tournament and their 16th match without defeat since losing in the Copa America semi-final in 2019. Paraguay had never beaten Argentina over 90 minutes in the Copa America, a run that covers 25 matches, and they were up against it as early as the 10th minute when Argentina went ahead. Alejandro Gomez took a delightful pass from Angel Di Maria and dinged the ball over the diving keeper. Argentina thought that they had a second when Junior Alonso deflected a cross into his own net on the stroke of halftime, but the goal was chalked off by the video assistant referee VAR. Paraguay came out more positive in a changed second half with Newcastle United's Miguel Almiron always dangerous on the left wing. However, although they enjoyed the bulk of the possession, they could not turn it into chances and now face two tricky games against Chile and Uruguay. Elsewhere, an own goal from Chile's Arturo Vidal midway through the second half gave Uruguay their first goal in 5 games and granted them a point in a gripping 1-1 Copa America encounter on Monday. Chile started the better side and went ahead after 26 minutes thanks to Eduardo Vargas. Vargas worked a nice 1-2 with Ben Brereton before lashing an unstoppable shot past goalkeeper Fernando Muslera. It was Vargas' 14th goal in the tournament, making him the joint 5th top goal scorer, only 3 goals behind the leaders on 17. Uruguay had not scored in their last 4 games before this match, but they grew as the game went on and got a deserved equalizer midway through the second half. Matthias Vecino nodded a corner into the 6-yard box, and as Luis Suarez grappled with Vidal, the ball was knocked into the roof of the net. The goal was first given to Suarez but then classed as an own goal, and Vidal was replaced moments later after complaining he had been fouled by his former teammate at Barcelona. Uruguay got more on top as the game went on and pushed forward in search of a winner, with Suarez and Edison Cavani both coming close. That's it from us this evening. In our top story, assess actual situation before deciding on NRP Phase 2. Join us for updates at noon at 12:30 tomorrow. I'm Azlani Adani. Thank you for watching. Goodbye for now.